last time.
All right, so we got a center. Where's the center?
4,2.
Yeah.
4, 2. Positive 4, positive 2. We go to the x first and then the y. This one's going to need to be scaled. So I'm going to make this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
Oh my god. Why are there so many? I'm just going to make mine large.
2, 4.
Are we doing
-2. Yeah.
But I'm just going to make mine huge.
I mean, you can. I can't.
Why not?
Mine's so big. I hope it's on the. Is it on the right side though? Yes. Okay. Cool. Because that would be unfortunate if it wasn't.
All right. I just put some numbers in there. All right. So we remember it's scaled. Okay. So that's our center.
So like, make mine straight.
The square root of 36 is 6. We will move 6 in which direction?
This way. Like this way. I don't know. I don't know.
This way.
Oh wow.
Because it's underneath
I'm trying to figure out what
y.
you're doing.
So you're going to go 6 in the y direction above and below the center. So remember we scaled. So 2, 4, 6.
I didn't scale mine, so
4,
we'll see how
6.
this goes. It goes 6 up and down.
Center would be 4, 2.
Wait, A is 6. We're going up and down.
2,
Yeah.
4.
Don't worry about A and B. Just worry about which
1,
direction we're going in. Doesn't matter which one's A.
I just like color coordinate it to make myself know what I'm doing.
Okay, we're going to go the square root of 64 or 8 in which direction?
This way.
Left, right.
Why?
Wait, what do you mean? Because X.
Yeah, because it's under X. So we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6,
2,
8.
4, 6.
5, 6, 7, 8. I got like a few of my boxes.
So
That's gorgeous.
this particular box is longer in the X direction. But that doesn't mean that the hyperbola opens in the X direction,
Oh
right?
man.
So what tells us the direction that it opens?
Negative sign.
No.
What?
Well, the or. Y next.
Y and X. If the Y comes first, it opens in the vertical direction. If the X comes first, it opens in the horizontal direction.
So X comes first. It's horizontal.
And if Y comes first, vertical. Don't try to draw the hyperbola until you've drawn the asymptotes, because otherwise it's not going to look great. So once you have the box, draw asymptotes through the box and the corners of said box.
Versus cow.
So make sure your asymptotes go through the corners, make sure they go through the center, which is why you got to use a ruler. After you do the asymptotes, now you'll put your hyperbola in there. So again, because y comes first, I'm going to put the hyperbola, it's going to connect in the vertical direction to this vertex, and it's going to open up. And then it's going to connect to this vertex and open down. And so the hyperbola has vertices at
Mine is so big.
4, 4. And 4, -8. Those are my vertices.
It's opening up and okay, cool. Give me a moment. I'm a little behind. I'm not
Wait,
gonna lie.
4, 4.
Wait, 4, 4.
Wait, where'd you get 4, 4?
That's where the point is.
The blue one?
Yep. This one. And this one.
Wait.
I don't know. So the center is 4, 2.
Oh, yeah, you graphed the center wrong.
Oh, what did I graph it at? 4, -2?
Yeah,
No, you
4,
did-
-2.
you did-
Well, for
Oh my
continuing
god, I
the
did 4
problem,
-2 too because I
for
followed
continuing
you.
the problem, let's just make this a plus sign and then I'm right. Right? Because you all did it wrong since I did it wrong.
No,
right?
I did it.
What?
I did it.
No, I was drafted.
You
I did
actually
it
did
wrong.
it correct?
I did
did
because
4.
Alright.
the vertices
I did it
should
wrong,
be
so it's fine.
I did it wrong.
2,
I didn't
4,
graph it.
6, 8,
I was just looking at it.
8, 2. The vertices should be
Yeah,
8,
that's
2,
not good.
and then The other one should.
I'll
So if you did it wrong, just change it. If you did it right, then just
Wait,
leave it.
eight?
I'll do it again
No, it's-
over here with the correct version, so
It's
that
4,
Victoria
8,
can
and
follow
then
me.
4,
2,
negative
4,
4.
6. Negative or 2, negative 6. That's what it should be.
Why pivot is with them? I don't know.
What?
Pivot.
It's 4 and 4 negative 4, right?
What's wrong?
Like
For what?
For the vertices.
Can you just chill like 2 seconds? I'm doing it again.
Everyone, calm down.
Yeah, just calm down.
Really not that big.
Disrupt just went sicko mode on us. Speaking of sicko mode.
Okay,
Catch
so
me,
this
Travis
is
Scott on Friday.
2, 8.
Mine is so large,
That's what she
Oh,
said.
He is an
but like it looks cool. Anyone have an extra highlighter that's like not any of these colors?
Yeah, what color? Oh, no.
Well, he
heck
might
no.
be like a
What do you
visualizer.
think you are? You have pink, yellow, green, and blue, and you
First
expect
off,
anyone to have a different
no.
color than
This
those?
is
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings.
everyone has actually I have orange. Can I borrow it?
If you are a man in a dark-coated figure or cloak.
I did, but it looks ugly.
You're
like
both like
evil.
evil.
okay. So
I'm gonna
this
do
is
it.
the what it should have been. This is how I did it.
Man with kind of-
Okay, so if you're doing it this way with
You're a
me,
real one.
follow this. If you did it without me, then follow this. So the asymptotes are pretty much going to be the same. There's just going to be one difference. So originally the question was supposed to be y minus 2, x minus 4, so that would have been y minus 2 equals the rise and the run of the box. And this is the same rise and the same run.
So
So yeah, it would be 6 over 8, but that simplifies
To 3.
3 over 4.
to 3 over 4.
Wait. So would I put y plus 2 for my thing?
It'd be Y.
Yes, I'm doing both ways. So over here, if you did it this way, it would be y plus 2 equals plus or minus 3/4 x minus 4.
That's not mine.
Seems doable.
The center has no bearing on the foci other than how they're oriented, but the actual c value will be the same. So we'll still do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which is 36 plus 64 equals c squared. And 36 plus 64 is 100.
100. So c equals 10.
So c is going to be 10.
Oh man.
So that means you will go 10 above and below your center. So that brings me
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Definitely not good enough to go on the other side. 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I made it actually. Cool, man. Foci at
Food guy.
4.
Yar.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 4. 10, -12. Beautiful.
alright, so those are your foci depending on how you did it. They're just like
Mine is so
inverses of each
big.
other essentially. And that's it, foci.
Mine is like large.
That's why I scaled it. Where's our center?
0,
negative
0,
one.
negative.
0, -1.
I thought it was 1 negative 1, but okay.
So down there. We will go 2 in the horizontal direction each way, and 6 in the vertical direction each way.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Then we will make a box out of that. So just keep these black. So make a box out of those 4 points. And then you're going to draw asymptotes through the corners of the box, and the asymptotes should also go through the center. So through the center and corners of the box, we have asymptotes. This is where it goes a little bit off the graph.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe like 6. Okay.
And then because x is written first, That's what makes this a horizontal hyperbola. If y is written first, it's vertical. If x is written first, it's horizontal. It has nothing to do with which one's bigger. So we're gonna open this up in the horizontal direction. So it's very stretched out because your asymptotes have a very high rise and not a very high run. That looks terrible.
I definitely.
Mine just like, I don't really know what's going on with mine.
Mine's like, it's like a
But like, look at it. Like, why does it look like that?
it looks fine.
It just like it's like long.
I just don't have a lot of room. And when you have more room, it looks better. Anywho,
Yeah, like mine like looks kind of.
like it shouldn't be like touching the box here.
Should
It should be like off the box. There we go. All right, so your vertices are the two red points, which are at -2, -1, and then at 2, -1. Your asymptotes go through your center, and we're going to put them in point slope form, so that's y plus 1 equals some kind of slope times x. The slope of your box, so your box has a rise of 6 and a run of 2. So your slope is 6/2. What does that simplify to? 3. So it's going to say plus or minus 3, and then x. Usually we have parentheses with the x. In this case we don't. So it's just y plus 1 equals plus or minus 3x. Always simplify everything, including your slope. So if your slope is 6/2, you're going to simplify that to 3.
Am I right?
To find your foci, you do a squared plus b squared equals c squared,
Oh, I just like didn't even put that vertex.
which is 4 plus 36. So c squared is 40, and c is the square root of 40, which simplifies to 2√10. So the square root of 40 is approximately 6 and change. So you will go 6
I did
and a little
6.6.
bit, and 6 and a little bit from your, oh, that's not the right way.
Oh man,
Don't
I
do
was
that.
like, what did I do wrong?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little bit. So you always go in the direction of the transverse axis or the axis containing the vertices, aka the axis that contains the actual hyperbola. This red swoosh and this red swoosh, that's your graph. Like that is what we're trying to graph. That's the hyperbola. Everything else is just helping us graph it. So in theory,
In fear.
this is your graph. That's your graph. Nothing else is part of the graph. That's just helping you graph it. Your foci are going to be at so since your center was at 0, you would take the x coordinate, you would add and subtract c from it, and you would keep the y coordinate, which is -1. That's where those guys are. So they're at 2√10, comma -1, and -2√10, comma -1. That's where your foci are. So they're just left and right of your center. In theory, if you were to graph this hyperbola on like a graphing calculator or something, these red swooshy things is all you would see. You wouldn't see foci, you wouldn't see anything else. All you would see is those red lines.
For our quiz, do you want us to erase it? After?
No, I don't want you to erase it. I want to see all the things. That's
Okay,
your
got
work. I'm just saying, that's the actual hyperbola. Everything else is just how we get it. We graph the box so that we can get the asymptotes. The asymptotes help us graph the hyperbola. So it's kind of like in chapter 8, when we did rational functions, we graphed those asymptotes, but the asymptotes aren't part of the graph, they're just guiding our graph. So if you graph a rational function on your calculator, you're not going to see the asymptotes, which is why we didn't use a calculator. Yeah.
What is that?
Alright, so our center is at -2, 1. I have to scale this.
You probably will. I didn't, but I also had a lot of space.
Yeah.
You didn't have to.
So -2, 1 is right here. Because 36 is underneath the y, we're gonna go 6 vertically. So 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because 9 is underneath x, we're gonna go 3 horizontally. And we're gonna use those to make a box.
Very cool content.
Okay. Through the box, we're gonna put asymptotes. Asymptotes should go through the center and corner of the box. The hyperbola will go through either the blue points or the red points, depending on what letter comes first. So since y comes first, it's a vertical hyperbola, which means your hyperbola has to go this way.
I did this question wrong.
Did you do it the other way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did 6 this way and 3 this way.
Yeah. Oh, so your box is sideways?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. So that makes our vertices. So our vertices are at -2, and then 6 below 1 is -5, and then 2, 7. That's where our vertices are, those little blue dots that are actually on the hyperbola. Your asymptotes are,
Y minus 1.
oh, yeah, it's -2.7. Just forgot my negative sign. Your asymptotes go through the center, which is
Y minus 1.
-2, 1, so it's gonna be y minus 1 equals the slope times x plus 2. The slope of our box, so our box has a rise of 6 and a run of 3. So 6/3 simplifies to 2. So our slope is gonna be positive and -2. So positive and -2. So our asymptotes. Then our foci, or foci, are at 36 plus 9, which is 45. The square root of 45 is like slightly bigger than 6.
It's 3
or
square root 5.
Oh. Oh yeah, well I mean I wasn't there yet, but yeah, sure. So 3 root 5 would be simplified. It's like closer to 7, I guess,
I
so.
put like 6.9.
From your center, you'll go like 6.7 above and 6.7 below. And then your foci will be at -2, comma, 1 plus or minus 3 root 5.
Oh, would you rather us do it that way or the decimal way?
Not the decimal way, you don't have a calculator.